All right, we're going to go ahead and move on to the 12th of March. This is March 12th, Sunday. Dear Kitty, I can't seem to sit still lately. I run up and down, upstairs and down, and then back again. I love talking to Peter, but I'm always afraid of being a nuisance. He has told me a bit about the past, about his parents, and about himself. It's not half enough, though. And I ask myself, why is it that I always long for more? He used to think I was unbearable, and I returned the compliment. Now I have changed my opinion. Has he changed his too? I think so. Still, it doesn't necessarily mean that we shall become great friends. Although, as far as I'm concerned, it would make the time here much more bearable. But still, I won't get myself upset about it. I see quite a lot of him, and there's no need to make you unhappy about it too, Kitty, just because I feel so miserable. On Saturday afternoon, I felt in such a whirl. After hearing a whole lot of sad news that I went and lay on my divan for sleep. I only wanted to sleep to stop myself from thinking. I slept till 4, and then I had to go downstairs into the living room, and I found it difficult to answer all. I found it difficult to answer all of Mommy's questions and think of some little excuse to tell Daddy as an explanation for my long sleep. I resorted to a headache, which wasn't a lie, as I had one, but inside. Ordinary people, ordinary girls, teenagers like myself. Well, I think I'm a bit cracked about all of my self-pity. Yeah, that's what it is. But I pour my heart out to you, and the rest of the day I am impudent, gay, and self-confident as I can be in order to avoid questions and getting on my own nerves. Margot is very sweet and would like me to trust her. But still, I can't tell her everything. She's a darling. She's good and pretty, but she lacks the nonchalance for conducting deep discussions. She takes me so seriously, much too seriously, and then thinks about her queer little sister for a long time after, looking searchingly at me at every word I say, and keeps on thinking, is this a joke or does she really mean it? I think that's because we are together the whole day long, and if I had trusted someone completely, then I shouldn't want to be hanging around me all the time. When shall I finally untangle my thoughts? When shall I find peace and rest with myself again? And so here I'm going to draw a divan or her couch, similar to what she's talking about. And she goes in and she goes to sleep for 4 hours. Okay. So I'm just going to draw a little person here. And her feet are going to go right here. Okay. And she's sleeping. Just to stop herself from thinking. I think she slept till 4 hours. No, she slept till 4 o'clock. So let's go ahead and fix that. Okay. And let's see. I think that's going to be pretty good for this one. She was self-pitying, upset, full of self-pity. Let's just put that down. Okay. All right, I think that's good on that one. Let's read the next. Tuesday, March 14th, 1944. Dear Kitty, perhaps it would be entertaining for you, though not in the least for me, to hear that we are going to eat today. It's changing classes. As the chairwoman is at work downstairs, I'm sitting on the Van Dan's table at the moment. I have a handkerchief soaked in some good scent, though we had bought before we came here, over my mouth and held against my nose. You won't gather so much from this, so let's begin at the beginning. The people from whom we obtained the food coupons has been caught, so we just have our 5 ration cards and no extra coupons and no fats. But as both Meep and Kofius are ill, Ellie hasn't time to do any shopping, so the atmosphere is dreary and dejected, and so is the food. For tomorrow we shall not have a scrap of fat, butter, or margarine left. We can't have fried potatoes to save the bread for breakfast any longer, so we have porridge instead, and as Mrs. Van Daan thinks we are starving, we have bought some full cream milk under the counter. Our supper today consists of hash made from kale, which has been preserved in a barrel. Hence the precautionary measure, thank you, of the handkerchief. It's incredible how kale can stink when it's a year old. The smell in the room is a mixture of bad plums, strong preservatives, and rotten eggs. Ugh, and it's this mere thought of eating that muck makes me feel sick. Added to this, our potatoes are suffering from some peculiar disease that out of the buckets of pomme de terre, one whole ends up on the stove. We amuse ourselves by searching for all of the different kinds of disasters and have come to the conclusion that they range from cancer to smallpox to measles. Oh no, it's no joke to be hiding during the fourth year of the war. If only the whole rotten business was over. Quite honestly, I wouldn't care so much about the food if only it were more pleasant here in other ways. There's the rub. This tedious existence is beginning to make us all touchy. The following are the views of the 5 grown-ups in the present situation. Mrs. V.D., the job as a queen of the kitchen lost its attraction a long time ago. It's dull to sit and do nothing, so I go back to my cooking again. Still, I have to complain that it's impossible to cook without any fats, and all these nasty smells are making me sick. Nothing but ingratitude and rude remarks do I get in return for my services. I am always the black sheep, always the guilty one. Moreover, according to me, very little progress is being made in the war. In the end, the Germans will still win. I'm afraid we're going to starve, and if I'm in a bad mood, I scold everyone. Mr. V.D., I must smoke and smoke and smoke, and then the food and the political situation and Carolee's moods don't seem so bad. Carolee is a darling wife, but if he doesn't have anything to smoke, then nothing is right, and this is what one hears. I'm getting ill. We don't live well enough. I must have meat. Frightfully stupid person, my Carolee. After this is a terrific quarrel is sure to follow. Mrs. Frank, food is not very important, but I will love a slice of rye bread right now. I feel so terribly hungry. If I were Mrs. V.D., I would have put a stop to Mr. V.D.'s everlasting smoking a long time ago, but now I must definitely have a cigarette because my nerves are getting the better of me. The English make a lot of mistakes, but still the war is progressing. I must have a chat and be thankful that I am not in Poland. Mr. Frank, everything's all right. I don't require anything. Take it easy. We've ample time. Give me my potatoes, and I will keep my mouth shut. Put some of my rations to one side for Ellie. The political situation is very promising. I am extremely optimistic. Mr. Dussel, I must get to my task today of everything must be finished on time. Political situation outstanding, and it is impossible that we will be caught. Yours, Anne. Okay, so you have the voices of 5. Let's go ahead and, sorry about that. I didn't realize that flipped over. Okay, so we have March 14th. Okay. So let's do a drawing of Anne in the circle with the 5 people surrounding her. Oh, that was a bad circle. Sorry. And she has to hear the 5 voices, 2, 3. Mrs. V.D. Mr. Mommy. Daddy. Dussel. Let's make her a little bit. Oops, E-L. I think I want to make her face not so pleasant. So we're going to go ahead and go back in here. And let's do this. Okay. And you have opinions. Rain down. Okay. And she's just being so personal. All right, so that'll work for today as far as this one goes. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and you can get all caught